technically should come off the belt. Keep it up, okay. Pregnancy, we would ask. Belly button ring, if they've got a belly button ring, have them take it off. Okay, I want you to lay flat on your back, and thanks.
What? I just didn't know what I was supposed to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me get this crap out of the way. Actually, keep your knees up. Keep your knees up, please. Technically, we should have the knees up like this because it reduces the curve of the spine. All right, we are going to center first. We're gonna be at our 40-inch image grid, so not tabletop. We're gonna be here a little bit closer. Now we're gonna have our image receptor in here. We should have our 14 by 17. This is a little bit larger area. And we are not crosswise, we're portrait or lengthwise. Hot dog. Okay, what I want you to do is bring your hands up here. And you can relax, okay. All right, we're gonna be at crest for this. Sorry. All right. Okay. I'm gonna have to go in one more time. So for the L spine, you technically should be open 17 inches. Okay, I'm gonna poke at you one more time. Sorry. You have, I can't, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
crests are very narrow. All right. So keep your arms up, perfect. So
Sorry, I tensed up.
we are not going to shield, guys, because we need to be low. This is lumbosacral, so we have to get the sacrum. We're kind of right in that area. If you had a patient who had a very short thorax, also short abdomen, and let's say that the top of your collimation ends up being way up here, just from body habitus, then go ahead and collimate. Okay, but for him, he doesn't really have a short abdomen, so that's pretty good. We're kind of meeting the end of the diaphragm, which is fine. You could maybe we can maybe collimate, just a hair, okay? We should be open wide enough to be able to get the SI joints here, and we gotta be open top to bottom to get all 5 vertebrae. So we should be right at crest, and then again, we should be right down mid-sagittal plane. Just gonna move you a hair. Now, if you have a patient who they can't lay down, it's more comfortable for them to stand, you can go ahead and get them standing. But if it's not ordered weight bearing, or the patient can lay down, we'll go ahead and get them laying down. Now, as far as marking goes, because we have to get SI joints down here, we're gonna mark high, and we'll mark right on our patient. This area here, right on the outside of our collimation, will be in the ribs, but that's okay. It's anatomy that it's not of interest. You just wanna make sure you're not marking super far in. Okay, so you're marking right here, right at the corner of your collimation. Okay, all right, go ahead and take a breath in, blow it out, and hold it out, okay? Where's your belly button at? Yeah, so we're very close to it. And again, guys, we are at crest. This is not ACES. You're not palpating for these front things here. You can palpate for them and find them. Sometimes they're a little bit easier, but then you gotta follow them up to the top of crest, okay? So we're gonna be right at crest. Now our next one will move into the oblique. What I want you to do is go ahead and reach this arm across your body, and it just kind of gets them. Now, I'm gonna take this out.
Oh.
Okay, keep going a little bit. We should be at 45 degrees. Scoot back just a tiny bit.
I was about to say, I don't
Falling.
I'm going out. Okay.
Am I supposed to lay lateral or?
No. So, this is the thing. Everything should be in the same line. You don't want the hips out this way and their shoulders back, okay? So everything should be like this, and then what I want you to do is bring your arms up. I'm gonna move you a tiny bit more. Okay. There we go. Good.
Supposed to hold this?
You gotta hold it. If you want to relax back on there's a sponge right behind you. Okay. Now, if your patient's super walkie-talkie, you can have them hold this if you think they can hold it, but this is why we'll have the 45-degree sponge, is so they can kind of relax back onto it. I'm gonna bring this, there we go. Okay, this is kind of our weird centering. We're gonna be 1.5 inches above crest, and we're gonna be at ASIS. I believe it's at ASIS. Where's my book? At least for most people, it's at ASIS.
Like yoga.
We are 2 inches medial to elevated ASIS. They say that, but I think sometimes it gets you too far into the abdomen. Okay, so you got to come back. I would say about 1 inch.
Do I have to keep this leg up?
Yeah.
Damn, alright.
You can, okay, go ahead, relax.
Nah, it's cool, I'll just do it.
Okay, are you dying?
Slowly.
Slowly. Okay, what I want you to do is turn and look towards the wall. Now, a hack that you guys can use is going off of the ear line of your patient, and that typically gets you right in line for right where you need to be for the spine. So you can kind of come up this way, and I'm going to move your head back just a little bit. Doesn't work for everyone, but you can get pretty close. I'm going to move this in. Okay. So you can use this, the ear alignment, to help you out on where the spine's going to go. Doesn't work for everyone, so you can always use the 1.5 inches above, 2 inches medial. I think the 2 inches medial is too far in. So my suggestion for when you guys comp is you come in maybe just about 1 inch from ASIS, not 2 inches in. It shouldn't look like this. You should not be in the abdomen at all. Our spine still is posterior, okay? So we're just moving it into the body a tiny bit. Okay. So again, I'm gonna mark in front here. Now this is the left side of his body. I don't want to mark back here because we could end up in anatomy. So I typically tend to mark the front, okay? Take a breath in, blow it out, hold it out, good. Now, if you guys were gonna be doing this out in clinicals, you'd turn them to this side and then you do your other oblique and then you flip them back around to get your lateral. But when you comp, you're just gonna do one oblique, and you might as well do this one because then they can just flip over to lateral. Okay, I'm gonna take this out. Now go ahead and lay it all the way on this side.
What side?
Left side. Other side.
Other
left.
Like lateral?
Yep.
Your actual left.
Okay, put that in front. Okay, so what I want you to do is stack your knees over each other, and then you guys can kind of see, if you're looking back behind him, he has one of his shoulders is stuck in front. You see it, Randy?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That is super common for your patient to do when they turn, is they keep one shoulder underneath them like that. Now, just to give your patient good care, you can see that his head's like flopped like this, and it's usually not comfortable. So I'm gonna take this, go ahead and hold that really quick. I'm gonna take this and double up your pillow for your patient. Okay.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Okay, I'm gonna poke on you one more time for your crest. And then what I want you to do is scoot a tiny bit forward for me. Perfect. Okay. So again, our spine is posterior, so we should have a little bit, you guys can see kind of a tiny bit of light here in the back. That's exactly what we should have. Now, if they've got a lot of back fat, which he doesn't, you won't have any light back
Not
there.
that you can see.
Okay. Okay, so we're right at crest. We're basically extending our collimation, so you got a little light behind here. That way you don't clip off spinous processes. And then our collimation to the front is almost like you're kind of splitting them in half. It's close to getting to the armpit area. Okay. Now, because we're in a left lateral, we're gonna mark it left. Now this area here, we're gonna mark it here because it's over the hips, and we're okay with marking right on the hip area. We can't mark in this section because you can kind of put it in spinous process, and you don't want to come too far back and put it in a vertebral body. So marking it here low gets in the hips, but that's okay. They don't yell at us for that. Okay, what you will also do, this is not a must when you guys go to comp, but if you've got a very thin person and you have a lot of light back here, go ahead and put your lead. Okay, now you don't want to get it close right up on the patient because then you're going to clip spinous processes. So that's why you kind of see it where they have it a little farther out. It's just meant to catch the scatter. Your ionization chamber, they don't have it, like you can't see it like the Bucky, but your ionization chambers run all along here. So we'll probably have a tiny bit of it uncovered. So you'll just keep it just like this. Okay, same breathing, take a breath in, go ahead and blow it out, hold it out, good. Okay, so that's your lateral. And now we're gonna go down and do our spot. The spot is just this little bottom section of L5-S1, so you're getting your L5 vertebrae in the top part of your sacrum. And because we don't need a large plate, now when you have digital, you're not doing any of this, you're just collimating.
Stay like this?
Say again?
Do I just stay like this?
Yep, stay like this. It's still a lateral, so your patient doesn't move. The other thing, he's pretty straight here. Hips and his shoulders pretty much run in the same line. If you had someone who had a very wide pelvis, this is when you'd go ahead and do your caudal degree angle. You will have techs who, even when you've got a patient body habitus like this, no matter what, they'll still do this. Okay? So you kind of just roll with what your tech wants you to do. I'm going to show you guys just with a 0 degree angle. This way?
No, I said no pun intended because you said roll with it.
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay.
And for comps, are we just like judging whoever we're doing? Just do it based off them?
Person that you got. So every tech will have their own hack on how to get to the L5-S1 spot. And I'll show you guys mine. It might not be the exact same as what your techs are using, but I think this helps to figure out how to get low. When you, now the book states we should be 2.5 inches or 2 inches back from ACES, 1.5 inches down from crest. So it gets you like to this area-ish. But when you actually have a patient, no one wants to reach around and like palpate to them. No one wants to do it, okay? So this helps you kind of get to that same spot. I'm a righty, so I'll use my right hand, and the left hand is just gonna be here to help you move the table around, okay? You'll put your thumb right at the top of crest, and the flat part of your palm is gonna be kind of back here, not all the way on the back, but it's right on the slightly more posterior, okay? So your thumb is here right at the top of crest, you've got the flat of your palm on their back, and then you're gonna take your index finger and you're gonna kind of put it between these two, okay? So you're pointing it outwards. This seems really silly, but I'm telling you, you get your L5-S1 spot every single time. Now you're gonna bring this down and you're gonna be centering basically right in between your two knuckles here, okay? And then you're just gonna bring in your collimation so it's right in these 3 fingers, okay? And that gets your L5-S1 spot every time. Now, if you're a lefty, you basically do the same thing with your left hand, except you're gonna cup the crest, you're gonna take this index finger, and you're gonna go down. But you're more on the last knuckle, okay? So you can do it as well the same way if you're a lefty, except you're cupping the crest. Okay. Now, if you're a guy and you have a woman that you think that or vice versa, you just don't want to touch your patient for whatever reason, you can do this without touching your patient, okay? It will take practice to extend, especially if you have small fingers, small hands. You're gonna vary it a little bit, that's okay, as long as you're not like this far in, okay?
Are you doing this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I can only feel it. I
Okay,
can't
so
see it.
it's okay if there's variation. Not everyone's gonna have the exact. It just gets you into a nice area. And again, I'm gonna mark this right at the bottom here. So we're basically right in sacrum, hip area. Now for this one, you just hold your breath, don't breathe, and that's it. That's your L5S1.
And we're not shielding for any of these, right?
No shielding for any of them. Okay, any questions?
Yes, can you do the finger thing one more time?
Yeah.